Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is about 7 o'clock in the morning on a sunny, surprisingly, Saturday, and I'm just about to head off to Wales to compete-ish in a race by Limitless Trails, which I'm super excited to do actually. I'm not actually competing, I'm going along to run it, to kind of get back into the swing of racing. So for those of you who don't know, I've basically been out of proper training for around 3 months now, and I'm finally getting back into the swing of things, and that involves a couple of races here and there just to kind of like get into the atmosphere again, get myself excited about running. No pressure at all because obviously I've not trained for them specifically, just to go out there and have a lot of fun. So I'm really excited about this one. I've done a Limitless Trails event before and it was absolutely beautiful. That was Beast of the Blacks, it was 20 miles. This is Brecons to the Blacks, something like that. And it's 21 kilometers, so half marathon, over the hills. It's gonna be super hilly, super slow, hopefully, and really, really, really beautiful. And it looks like a nice day for it. So I'm gonna have some breakfast now and then I'm heading off in about half an hour with a friend of mine who's also running it, so I've managed to convince him to drive me there, which is just brilliant. It's looking like a really nice day, so yeah, I'm excited. So I'm just in the car on the way to the race. I'm here with Tony. Say hi.
Hey folks.
I don't know if you guys remember him. We ran together in the Brecons and now we're back in the Brecons. Are we in the Black Mountains now? Yeah. Yeah. And he actually looked at the route today and I did not. So he's gonna tell us about what it is that I'm about to run. Can you please explain what it's like?
So it starts at about 200 meters-ish and it starts with a big hike up to about 700 meters. Woo. And then it carries on a really beautiful ridge until you get to the far side, and then you kind of basically hook a hairpin and come all the way back in the valley. So basically uphill first half, downhill second half.
Oh, nice. So it finishes like relatively flat-ish along the valley?
No, I think the last kilometer's like a 20% gradient down.
Oh, amazing.
Which is going to be a really fun, fast finish, but also
quite painful. Brilliant. Steep. Well, we'll see. We're nearly there now. It is 8:40, so the race starts at
10.
10.
10.
Let's say 10. Let's hope it's 10. Yeah, we're nearly there, and I'm really excited to get going. Actually, we've been catching up on all things running and everything else because we've not seen each other in like
a long time.
A long time. Months.
And then when we saw each other, it was like for a second at the Mendip.
Oh yeah, we did a race, and he was doing the long one, and I was doing the kiddies one. So yeah, I didn't see him then. But yeah, really excited to get going. Same big hill to start with as last time. I remember this, it's really painful. Everyone sets off, it's quite optimistic, and then suddenly you realise you definitely can't run the whole thing, so we'll be walking very soon. It's Tony, all the way at the front, running up this hill. Not sure how that's even possible, but he's doing it. I don't know if I mentioned he's quite a good runner. It'll be interesting to see how he does on this. He's got to drive me back home, so I'm hoping he waits around at the end. We've done just over 600 meters, all straight up. We've done 150 meters of climbing, at least, and we got a bit more to go. Quite a lot more to go actually. The last race we did kind of went halfway up this and then along. This goes all the way to the top, straight out the blocks. Look at it. Phew. So I can already feel the effects of this week's training. It's been my first week back
official training in 3 months, and I decided not to taper for this because otherwise, when are you ever gonna get any good training in? Because I like to have lots of races in the diary, and so I did 2 interval sessions this week, including one on Thursday, Saturday today, and oh, my legs can feel it. It's definitely a bit tougher than I'd usually find just hiking up a hill, but it's all part of the training. So my plan today was 10k, and then tomorrow at leisurely 6k. Instead, doing a full 21k today, and then lots of rest tomorrow before my second week of training next week. Whew. See how it goes. Hi, Horsey. Hello. You are very pretty. Oh, I think that's a little pregnant one. So cute. You're all adorable. Look at you go. Hands up, babies. Hi. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a 20-minute mile. First mile done. 12 more to go. Oh, let's hope they're not all this tough. Wowee. All right, we're 2.5k in, and I'm running for the first time since the bottom. Isn't that mad? Half an hour. Whew. So I don't know if I mentioned, but my goal today, not to race, just to remind myself why I love being out on the hills. It's a beautiful day, such a nice atmosphere, amazing course. So yeah, just here to have a lot of fun, and that's going to involve a lot of walking, and that's good actually, because my power hiking has definitely taken a downturn since I've been doing more flat stuff, so good to keep it up in between my other sessions. First food of the run, 45 minutes in, and I need to practice eating whilst running again because I tried it the other day and it made me feel really sick. So obviously I've got out of practice. So I just have half of this now, and then another 45 minutes I'll have the other half, and then just keep eating every 45 until the end. Definitely don't like people. They probably don't appreciate me shouting at them, but they're so cute. Okay, can someone tell me what this helicopter is doing, please? It's not mountain rescue as far as I can tell, because it's got a white bag at the end of it, and the ridge that we're running up has lots of white bags in a row, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what it is, and the helicopter's just dumping them. This feels like it can't be, like it can't be an ecological way of doing something. Maybe economical, but I don't know. Helicopters are expensive. Can someone explain, please, because I'm confused. Very, very confused. I have my answer. Ballast and, well, more ballast. Ballast and rocks. There you go. I imagine for building a path up here. So it must be a popular route, they're building a path. It's kind of not the most beautiful of way markers, but hey ho. Oh, I'm tired because we've been going uphill for ages, but it's that sort of uphill that you sort of have to run because it is runnable, and otherwise it's just going to take you years. I'm knackered. What the hell are those? The nature up here is pretty cool. But I'm out of practice of trail running. Let's go. We've done over 600 meters of elevation gain in 8.5k. That is pretty hilly. We're going down into the valley, which means I know what's going to happen at the end. It's going to be a big sharp up like we did last time, and then a sharp down where we came up at the very beginning. It's a tough one to end the race on because you've got to do a big climb and then you've got to absolutely destroy your quads after how many miles. Last time it was 20 miles, this time thank God it's only 13. But yeah, we're pretty far in, 10.5k in, which means about halfway, which is great. I'm having a good time. I'm trying not to overdo it because although actually I don't feel bad fitness wise today, I can tell that my limbs are not used to the unevenness underfoot, because usually I don't really get any niggles on soft trails like this, especially if I'm not actually pushing too hard. The only time I do is if I go over on something, which I've done a couple of times. But yeah, there's fitness, cardiovascular fitness, and then there's your legs being fit and strong, and there's gym fitness, and then there's running fitness. And I've got the gym fitness, the running fitness not so much, which is the entire purpose of these sorts of runs is to get back into it, get the ligaments strengthened up, make sure I don't twist my knee or anything stupid like that. But yeah, feeling pretty good. A little bit tired, but look, such a beautiful route around, and it's a nice little like 2% decline, so it's really runnable, really beautiful. Whew, how lucky are we to have places like this in the UK? Literally an hour and 15 from my front door in Bristol. Incredible. So while we're running a nice downhill, very runnable section, I can actually talk to you guys. Oh, 7 miles. Exciting. Yeah, so at the moment, as of this week, earlier this week, I just started a new training program. I won't spoil too much what it's about, but essentially my goal is to get some speed back in the legs. So it's kind of back to what my 5k training was like, and that's because every time I do an ultra and focus on getting mileage up and time on feet and all that kind of stuff, I lose a lot of speed in the legs, and that's to be expected. You know, you can't work on everything at once, especially once you reach some sort of level. Like at the beginning, you're going to get better at speed and at distance because you're starting from a relatively low point and you can work on both those at the same time. But at a certain point, it becomes really difficult to do them both. So last year, I did my 5k time trial and got quite quick doing that. And then this year, I'm working on sort of 10k speed, because I never ended up doing that last year, which is a little bit stupid because I feel like it's so much easier to get a good fast time off the back of other fast training, whereas instead of that I went straight from 5k to doing MCC training, which is 40 kilometers of mountains, which is not exactly the same. So this time I'm doing 10 weeks of specific 10k training, and I don't have a race at the end of it, but I'm considering doing a time trial. So but I'll tell you a little bit more about that later in another vlog, more specific stuff. But we're starting on around 35k a week, which is manageable, and working quite quickly up into the 40s and 50s, which is what my peak sort of training weeks have been consistently for the last year and a bit or so. Other than the last 3 months where I've been completely slacking, just having fun, doing a lot of hiking, enjoying myself, and getting slow. So yeah, we'll be working on not being that. That's the ridge just behind there that we were up a minute ago. Not bad. I just did a 7:40 minute mile, which seems really stupid. 8 miles into a half marathon course, a very hilly one at that. But hey ho, it was fun. And now we're going through lots of very scratchy bracken. I gotta say, I don't love running through bracken. It's kind of, well, it's much less nice than running through a woodland. It doesn't shade you. Lots of stuff is on the path, so it kind of trips you up, and it hides a lot of the rocks. So when you think there's going to be flat ground, you stand on a piece of bracken and it's actually a sort of wobbly rock under your foot. And annoyingly, this shouldn't be here. I read an article the other day about how sort of bracken takes the place of where trees should be if we stopped grazing sheep on all this land. This national park land and should be all covered in beautiful trees. And this bracken would get replaced by shrubs, and the shrubs would get replaced by trees. And that can't happen because the sheepies eat all the shoots of the new trees that come and self-seed here. And so the only way that you can get like forest regeneration really is by excluding sheep, and then other things like deer as well, and cattle. Yeah, it's really interesting because you think like national park land should be preserved as, you know, what it should look like, which is covered in trees. But of course, the times that the national parks were created, they were already deforested for the most part for making space for farmland. And so you're kind of preserving a quote unquote unnatural environment. Obviously it's better than having houses here and stuff, but in terms of like ecological conservation, surely it's not as good as excluding cattle and sheep from at least sections of the land, provide like wildlife corridors for the trees to be able to regenerate in those areas, so you can have sort of a mosaic habitat of open grassland, then bracken, and then trees and young forest. Because the forests that we currently have, they're not going to last forever, and if you don't allow new trees to grow up, forests will eventually die. You know, trees last hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years, but they do eventually die, and if they're not replaced with anything, you're going to have no forest left. So you can't really preserve nature in a way of like you can preserve a painting by keeping it in the same situation, because it's constantly in flux. So you have to preserve the new generations of stuff as well. So the more I run places like this especially, the more anti-sheep I am. And I know a lot of people who follow me are from farms or grew up on farms or herd sheep or whatever. But I don't know, I think there's a better balance that could be had. And since owning a dog that's part sheepdog, I hate them even more because they bloody well escape from their fields. So even if you try and keep them out from these places, they're kind of surprisingly good at jumping fences, and they just get everywhere. And my dog tries to herd them, and it's quite terrifying because you lose her, and yeah, not ideal. Anyway, we're out of the bracken zone into some couple of trees. Would not call this a forest though. Now this is more like it. Look at this. Beautiful. It's only a tiny little bit, but isn't it gorgeous? This is the sort of nature I like. 15 and a bit K done. 1 hour 42. That is my half marathon record, by the way. 1 hour 42, 1 hour 43. I think definitely not hitting that today. My hands are all swollen again. Look at that. They look like frogs. You know when they jump in the pool or something and you find them swimming and all bloated, or dead and all bloated usually. That's how my hands feel right now. This happened in Croatia and it was sort of scary because I actually sort of felt like I was dying and then my hands were all swollen and everything hurt and I was, oh, not in a good way. This time they're just swollen and my rings are tight, so I'll probably take those off. I don't feel so bad. I think it's an electrolyte thing. Stupidly, I didn't bring electrolytes today because I said it was just going to be like 14 degrees and sort of sunny, but starting off at like 10 degrees. So I actually didn't think I would need them, which maybe was a mistake. I don't know. You live and you learn. Beautiful. Woo! Look at this. Look, where you don't have sheep, you've got these growing up. Are they beeches? I think they're beeches, something like that. You've got them growing up everywhere. And these are replaced the big trees. Those aren't native, but some of them probably are. Growing up and replacing the big trees so that when the big trees die, you've got new trees to take their place. So that's what we like. That's what we like to see. And it just looks so much nicer, so much wilder. It's just beautiful. I'm being hunted down behind me and it's quite disconcerting because I usually start off really slow in races and speed up throughout. So I spend most of the races overtaking people because I start right at the back. And it's not really in my nature to let people overtake me, but A, I probably have no choice in the matter at this point because I'm not very fit and they're speeding along behind me at quite some pace. And B, I'm not supposed to be racing today, and so I'm not supposed to fight anyone who comes up behind. So I will do my best to keep it nice and steady and just keep on plodding along at this pace because I haven't tapered for this and I have a whole week of training next week, and then I've got a 10k race at the end of next week, the Bristol 10k, and if I have dead legs for that I'll be very sad. So, whew, technical descent! Ah! Ooh. And so the final climb begins. Oh God, I hate it. Which way? Straight up. Oh, my legs are dying. 17.5k. Let's get it. Have any of you guys seen that thing going around on Instagram at the moment? Of the woman who goes trail running and ends up with like 100 sheep following her. Well, here, the exact opposite is happening. I'm the one following the sheep. 19k in. This time last race, in this exact place, I had the worst calf cramp for the first time ever. And it was so horrendous because I was running it, obviously not this time, and jumping over the little streams. And each time I landed, my whole lower leg would just cramp up. So grim. I will not be running it this time. Hopefully not getting cramp. Can't believe we still got 2k to go though, because only a short downhill section at the end, which must mean the rest is uphill. Horrible. Finally, 10 downhill. Oh God, my quads! Oh, that's not the way to get over a stile. Just to the house. Let's get it! Woo! 4:10 per kilometre. Yoo-hoo! Ah! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh. Hey! Is that it? Do I stop? So can you tell everyone how you did, please?
I've never done anything like that.
Yeah! Well done!
It's the first race I've ever won.
Yeah! Oh my God! Congrats! Well done, you! Done! That's my race done and dusted. I'm really pleased with how that went. It wasn't fast, but it was consistent. I enjoyed it, which is the most important thing. Got a really nice medal and a really fun surprise. I got second female. And granted, there weren't that many women doing it this year, but I'm really pleased with that because I ran the whole thing by myself, so I wasn't really racing anyone at all. Like I literally from about, oh God, I'm sweaty, from about 5-6K in, I didn't see another person. So yeah, I just tried to stay consistent and run the bits that I could run, and I pretty much did that. There were a couple of bits where I should have been running where I was walking, like when I was talking about seedlings and rocks being flown up mountains, but other than that, yeah, I was really happy with that. Honestly, they put on the best events here. There's actually another race just coming up this hill right now. It's a national fell running race, apparently, which is pretty badass because they get up that hill a lot quicker because they do kind of up to maybe like 7 miles. They're usually a bit shorter than trail races and pretty intense. Like it's up and then down and you kind of choose your own route and basically just do it as fast as you can. Look, they're still coming up. Pretty badass. I'm happy I'm not doing it again, that is for sure. Second female, and I enjoyed it, so that's a win-win for me. If you guys haven't checked out Limitless Trails, definitely check out their races. They host them kind of throughout the year and they've got everything, so like from 12 kilometers to ultra marathons. There really is something for everyone, and the courses are slightly different each time, but they're all absolutely beautiful. So yeah, thoroughly recommend checking them out if you are looking for more trail races. They're really well organized as well, and just everyone's super friendly, and there are people of all sorts of different abilities. So yeah, definitely come and check them out. I'm gonna eat loads of food now, and then I'm gonna get back to Bristol and just do absolutely nothing for the rest of the day. I'm really looking forward to that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. This is my return to racing, which I'm super excited about. As you can probably tell, it's really hard to convince yourself that you're enjoying something when you're not, and so that's why I sort of took some time out, because I do this for fun and there's no point doing it if it's not going to be fun. So to have had such a good time today is definitely a good sign that I'm on the right track again. So yeah, really excited to be back to it, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my training and coming up races in the next video. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye!